If they could, they would. But as my grandmother used to say, they can't, so they ain't. Because, not because of me, but because of y'all. I'm telling y'all, they're looking at y'all like, you're more educated.
Yes.
You're more financially stable. You have the firepower. And you have a reason. The only thing y'all don't have right now is a reason. So, I'm not afraid, to be honest with you. Sometimes I laugh about it, go like, they killed me today. Because certain days, certain things happen around the world. That the attitude, we're such an internet-connected world. Like what happened with Sasha. That never would have made it over here so quick if it wasn't for the internet. Okay? So we're moving as this collective conscious now. What I impacted was the collective conscious of the planet. I didn't just impact America. I impacted the whole planet. 7 billion people. And ain't nobody in history sold that many records.
Well, my concerns are the fact that...
You concerned?
I'm very, very concerned. It's the fact that there was an incident. You had an outpouring of people that was very critical and was disrespectful, wasn't on code, and continued an onslaught. And my thing is, I feel, because at first such a major buzz, that after the legal switch took place, seemed like it lost some juice, right? And looked like I'm just...
No, I'm with you. I'm listening. I'm just
like
listening.
the fight is triple harder than what it was in the beginning. And
for who?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I'm trying to track it.
I'm just saying.
It's triple hard for who? Because I ain't did nothing. I've been sitting on ice for 6 months.
I'm just talking about just the fact that you have a lot of people that sway on the other side. You have a lot of casuals that's on the fence and what have you, right? And I had a question about, that too, but I didn't go there with that question. But
there are 7 billion human beings on this planet. I can let go everybody that I know today and start completely over again and still have as many people as I have now. When I told you I impacted 7 billion people around the globe, not just in this stolen land. I don't have the time, the energy, nor the inclination to give 2 fucks about people who can't stay on code, who act like much folk, who show their true colors, who are cowards, and who can only imitate and cannot create. If this little group can't get it together, there's other groups. There's 50 million of us here? That's a drop in the bucket when you got $7 billion. There's always people who are just finding out about us.
Right.
There's always people who just come into the movement. Watch this. There are people, and sisters gonna like this. Look, it's easier to go out and start a new relationship than it is to keep beating your head against the wall with the same joke. Again, especially when the ratio is 100 to 1.
How do you feel about this? Say blacks in the United States hold a key with diaspora as far?
They do. You got to understand the meaning of the word diaspora, which means disperse. We are a dispersed group around the world. And I've said this before. This is why NFAC made such a big impression on the world. Black people in the United States are the most financially, militarily, and educationally prepared group, any other group of blacks on this planet, to set this shit off and turn it around. So if we start down that road, everybody, okay, here we go, there you go, here we go. That's why when I stood up, y'all stood up, the whole world said, oh, here we go. Because they don't have what we have. They don't have them guns. They don't have that money. They don't have the clothes that they wore. They don't have any of that. Y'all don't seem to get it. People look at y'all from other countries that I talk to, and they look at me and say, man, what's wrong with your people? And I'm like, what are you talking? Y'all got everything and won't do nothing. We have nothing and trying to do everything. We spoiled.
Right.
We've been here so long, we fighting to keep on being spoiled. No, I'm not leaving here. We built this. You didn't build shit. People who were enslaved built this. People who were raped, murdered, beaten, that made them build. We didn't come over here and say, you know, white man, I know that you're gonna run shit, but I'm here with you. So I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna fix the crops. You go ahead and write the laws, and just let us know what we need to do. We're all on board. That shit don't even happen in the movies. We are the best equipped. We are the ones that can set the standard for the rest of the world. Plus, if you want to start a war that you're going to win, y'all see this globe? Yes, sir. Okay. I can spin this globe. I can stop it anywhere. No matter which country I stop it on, the United States of America has made them a whore to its money. So no one will go against the United States. In any country that has, they say we're not going to deal in the dollar. We have called them an enemy. We have called their leaders terrorists. We've killed them. We've to make sure there is no competition for the dollar. So, because everybody's a slave to the dollar, the only way that you can break that stranglehold is the fight has to start inside their house. Remember, no war has ever been fought on U.S. soil except for us fighting amongst them fighting amongst themselves. But no foreign country has ever waged war in the continental United States. Ever. So, because of that, we're already here. Like I told y'all, we're already a nation within a nation. Don't you know black people inside this country make more money collectively than 61 countries? Countries that have land, resources, water, borders, and even a small army. We richer than them and don't own nothing. I own my house. No, you don't. You don't own shit. You are a well-paid tenant. You're a law-abiding. When they say citizen, do you know what that means? Y'all, I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm so glad you quick to claim that. Because it means you're a subject. Subject to the crown. Subject to the laws of the crown. You don't own anything. You're given rights, privileges. That means someone is giving them to you. You have inborn rights. You have inborn rights that as a creature. I can't take away your ability to defend yourself. If I attack you right now, you're going to defend yourself because of self-preservation as a creature. Right. But yet we let people walk in. You can't defend yourself, bro. We'll take care of that for you. No.
Wait till we pass the law.
Right, wait till we pass the law, then you can defend yourself. What? Sisters, I told y'all, there was a time when it was not illegal to rape you. You couldn't call the police. He said, ma'am, he ain't broke no laws. Well, you can't file rape charges till we pass a law. No. You can't violate, period. Charlemagne?
Talk
black man.
Commentators that speak about sports.
The Breakfast Club will never have me on their show because I said a long time ago, I don't do mess. And if I ever came on their show, it would be the most popular show they ever had because I would tear that motherfucker up, whip Charlemagne's ass and envy. And then let myself go to jail. That'd be the end of the fucking Breakfast Club. That's why I stand there. Play that shit for your viewers.
I'm going to go to Motherland right quick.
You can't go to the motherland right quick because it's too big for you to be there right quick. It's 56 countries.
But I had dropped a video by a white guy was talking about how Africa have to be poor, but other countries that's thriving can be rich because if Africa's doing their own thing, manufacture, you push the manufacture, this shit
getting passed around like a cheese plate. Africa has been raped, continues to be raped for its resources, its people, its culture, its treasures, and everything else. I told you when we were upstairs, the world is upside down. How many of you all know that the globe is flipped? How many of you all know that the globe is flipped? That everything that they found out about us, they inverted it. What you think is the North Pole is not the North Pole. It is the South Pole. The top of the world is Antarctica. Africa was at the top of the world. Everything else is at the bottom of the world, where it was cold and unsurvivable. We were up where it was nice and warm and, doing great things. And when those creatures crawled up out of the Caucasus Mountains, crawled down through the European valleys, and ran into the real Moors, who civilized them, taught them how to walk upright and not walk on their hands, taught them how to use soap and water and not throw powder on themselves, taught them how to read. How many of y'all know the alphabet that you know today is modified and dumbed down? That the original African alphabet was so complex that we could use it, but they couldn't pronounce it. When those creatures came down to Africa and saw all the splendor, the civilization, beautiful women and men, light years ahead of them, light years, they schemed and they dreamed. Because if they went to Africa, they found out that we weren't just there. Christopher Columbus did not discover anything. This was a plot by the French, the British, and the Arabs to invade, listen to this, because you've never heard this, to conquer and destroy the global civilization of black people. We were everywhere. Them coming over here was part 2. Invading Africa and carving it up and taking the resources and destroying the trade routes. Put Africa in a position where they cut off their trade routes, and just like we're doing today, when the money got low, people started turning on each other.
You were speaking about all that too.
Yeah, but he did. If he gave you the solution was the up and down, he missed the first part. The first part is this: until we can get the parasite off of us, that should make a difference what we do with the rest of the blood in our body. The parasite is on our neck, it's on our back. Now it's in our blood because they done put it in a needle. The parasite is deep. The parasite don't want you to prosper. The parasite wants you to work for them. The parasite don't want you to not need them. It needs you. Y'all ain't never heard this. White people are parasites. They're a parasitical race. Anything that they come in contact with, they try to absorb it, imitate it, and then eradicate whoever originated it. You hear about pygmies all the time. You know the name, but you don't know that they were a race of Africans that they committed genocide against. Killed every last one of them. There are no more left today. Took their island, killed the people, and took everything they had. Even when we talk about our art and our music, same thing. We invented hip hop because we didn't have nothing else. We couldn't afford to get into them expensive clubs. Let me help y'all out since y'all don't like to do research.
Come on, man.
I'm the best of both worlds. I grew up in the Confederate South and in New York City at the same time. That's what happened back in the day when your mama and daddy split up. You go there for 6 months, you come down here for 6 months. So I was country half the year, then I was up in Manhattan the rest of the year. Out there with my little Italian icy. You know what I'm saying? You remember Italian icy? I get my icy going. You know what I mean? I had to go down to Philly on Broad Street to get my cheesesteak. But then I go back down to the South, playing the harmonica, sitting on the front porch with smoke. I was ahead of them, but I was still with them. You get it? And watching both sides of the coin. Watching both sides of the coin, I began to realize that what was happening to us in the United States is the same thing that's happening to Africa. You see, the only resource we have here is our money. And they steady raping us for it with products and services and things that we could do for ourselves. How many of y'all flew here on a black airline? How many of y'all get y'all power from a black power company? When the gas cut off, when they ran out of gasoline a couple weeks ago, that pipeline, was that a black pipeline? You get what I'm saying? They're doing it to us here with money, but in Africa, they doing it with everything. Listen, I can't think of the guy's name, and I don't want to waste time trying to remember. If y'all know, holler his name out. But there was a gentleman that came out in Africa about 3 years ago, and he said, no longer will we tolerate Western society painting pictures of us as being broke, uncivilized, and needing their help. Stop telling stories like that about us. When you come to our country, you find the worst.
This shit real, man. Free street. Yeah. It been a minute since I hit a limit. It been a minute since